PD Beats here from Pop Turner, speaking to Kensington Tallman about Inside Out 2, which is now in theaters worldwide. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you again.
So good to see you. Thank you so much for having me today.
It's so crazy because I feel like the process of, voicing Riley for this, so many stages and everything. And I feel like every audition process is different, right? Was this one a unique one specifically for Inside Out 2?
100%. It was a very unique process from audition to final product. It took 2 years, which I feel like is relatively short compared to some of our other Pixar talent. So I auditioned at 13 and I just submitted a little VO from my closet in my room. And I got a call back. And from there, I heard that I had booked the scratch for Inside Out 2. And the scratch is basically when they need a temp vocal to animate to. So they're still trying to figure things out. And I was filming Home Sweet Rome in Rome, Italy at the time. And I flew from Rome to New York City for 24 hours and recorded the scratch for Inside Out 2. And then about a month or so later, I officially heard that I got the role of Riley in Inside Out 2. And starting January 2023, I officially started recording. And it's just been such an amazing experience. I've got to meet some of the most incredible people. It's been so positive, and I've just learned so much about myself and about my emotions too while recording.
And it's all storytelling at the end of the day, but did it overall feel like a different process compared to kind of doing like a live action thing? Or does it I'm just curious about that process, right? Because you're voicing a character, you might not have to go on a big set all the time. I'm just curious, did it feel similar? Because it is all storytelling, right?
It's similar and different all at the same time. I feel like what's unique about voiceover is you're not given the set. You're not walking in there, and the world on live action is created for you. But in animation, you just kind of have to imagine it. And, you go off a couple sketches and some character drawings and models. But yeah, you really just have to imagine it. And I think that was such an amazing experience. But I feel like it felt similar to live action in the same way that, we're playing characters, we're telling stories, we're showing people, okay, this is my character, this is the story, this is the arc. So I feel like it was similar in that way, but, different in the fact that I'm in the booth and really having to imagine everything.
100%. It's super interesting too, Kensington, because I feel like people don't realize this much, because it's the big thing for Inside Out 2 is we meet Riley's new emotions, right? That was the big thing, right? And you have an amazing background, and we can see some of the new emotions and, the returning emotions. No, but I find it interesting because I feel like people aren't also realizing we're also seeing a new Riley too, right? Riley's changing, Riley's growing. Did you think about that at all? When you were kind of doing this project specifically, new emotions, new characters, but also it's Riley's different as well. She's playing hockey, she's growing, she's figuring things out. Have you thought about that too?
Yeah, when I first started reading my scenes and everything, it was very clear to me that Riley has definitely changed, and in a really good way. She's made new friends. She's really taking her passion in hockey, and she's really pursuing that. And then as the new emotions come in, then she really starts to change. And she really is trying to find a balance between joy and anxiety. And she's trying to figure out who she is in the world. She wants to make new friends, and she wants to be with her old friends. And so I feel like the movie is her constantly battling between two sides, joy and the old emotions. Here, wait, this side. And, sorry, it's reversed on my screen. And,
Awesome.
and the new emotions. So I think that was really interesting. And then just coming into the process, I really wanted to stay true to Riley as we saw her in the first film. She's still her silly, goofy, funny self, and she's still a very joyful kid. But I also wanted to bring my own, teenager-ness to the project, because as we become teenagers, our perspectives change.
Yeah.
And yeah, we grow and we change. And so I really just wanted to bring that to Riley.
Well, you did a very good job there with explaining Riley, because, I feel like I don't want to say much about Inside Out 2, because I feel like I spent the same with Inside Out 1, the first one, Inside Out, going in fresh is the best. You know what I mean? Maybe watch a trailer or two, but I feel like you summed it up. But I don't want to say more than that. You know what I mean? Because it's really fun to watch, and Very, very emotional as well. Kleenex box. I'm just saying. You get
Very much so.
yes. You established the process was a very interesting and lengthy process to, voice Riley in Inside Out 2. In a lot of ways, it could be seen as, two journeys for you specifically from a storytelling acting perspective, before voicing Riley and then after voicing Riley. Does it feel like two journeys, or does it feel like one big journey with multiple steps in between?
Oh, that's a really good question. I feel like it feels like one big journey, and I've really gone from this like anxious kind of, trying to figure myself out to who I am now, and accepting myself for my emotions, accepting these emotions as they are. Because when I started recording, and even before I got the audition, I was experiencing a lot of anxiety just on a
Yeah.
personal level.
Yep.
And that was pandemic time, and it was a very isolating time. And I kind of felt like I was the only one, and I felt like, I should be ashamed of anxiety. And then when I started recording Riley, I started realizing that no, anxiety is there to help us. She's not trying to hurt us. She just can get caught up in her own little spirals, and that's okay. And anxiety is completely normal. It's, change is part of life. And I really learned to embrace that. And I feel like I grew as an actress, as a storyteller, and as a person overall.
Absolutely. No, it's very well said. Movie's been out for a few weeks. Smash hit worldwide. Officially clearing, $1 billion globally at the box office, which is insane. It's crazy. When do you start thinking about the global impact of Inside Out 2 with your family and friends? Is it now? Is it before it comes out? I'm just curious. Is it now more that people are able to see it? When do you start thinking about the fact that Disney and Pixar are very global with their fandoms?
100%. I mean, when I first started recording for Inside Out 2, I knew that Pixar has such a big platform.
Yes.
And what Pixar is able to do is so unique. They are able to reach audiences across the world of all ages, and they're able to target everybody, which I think not many people can do. And I think when I saw the movie complete for the first time, I'm getting goosebumps now, that I think that was the moment I realized, wow, this film is going to touch people all over the world. It's going to change people's lives. It changed my life, and now seeing the response it's getting is just so incredible to see the impact it's making in people's life. And now it's officially hitting me to see how well it's doing, and to see people going back multiple times. It's just so encouraging to know that people feel seen and they feel heard by this movie.
100%. General question now. You can answer this with Inside Out 2, or you can answer this with Home Sweet Rome. You can answer this with Summer Camp, which I just saw recently, and I was like, it's Kensington. Oh my god. When do you officially start kind of understanding the character that you play? Because it's interesting, right? You're playing this character for a certain amount of time. You have preparation, and you're going to film it, and then you wrap, and then you're not playing this character anymore unless there's another film or a sequel or another series. Do you feel like it depends on the project when you start getting kind of comfortable and understanding the character you're playing?
100%. I think it depends on the project, but I would say in general, I feel like there's two sections or three sections. The first section is you're feeling out the waters. You're learning your team, you're learning the style, you're kind of taking everything in. The second part is you're getting the hang of it now. Now you're okay, I think this is how to do it. This is it. And then the third step is when you're getting close to wrap, and you're I know exactly what this character is. I've nailed down every beat. I feel very comfortable in this character. So I would say towards the end of the process, but you go in when you record or you film, you go in with a sense of, I know who this character is, I've mapped out everything, and you're open to change because, we have our directors and our creative team who are going to go in and say, you bring in what you think is right for the character, and they bring in what they want for the character. And it's kind of just a mix match of everybody's ideas, and it combines into something beautiful.
Absolutely. What would you say has been your favorite thing about the process and the journey of being part of Inside Out 2?
That's such a great question. I mean, to be honest, everything was incredible. I have to say, just working with our director and our producer, Kelsey Mann and Mark Nielsen, I don't think I've met more collaborative people. They were just so they were incredible. Kelsey's the best director I've ever worked with. He's so collaborative. He is very empathetic and just gives his all to this project. And I think that is why Inside Out 2 is so special, is because of the creative team at Pixar, because everyone is truly doing what they love and they're putting forth so much effort. And, we revised the film like 8 different times and they tear it apart and they make it perfect. And that truly is so inspiring to see these people work so hard and then to see the fruit of it as well. And then I feel like another really cool part of the project is, like we were talking about earlier, is seeing the global impact.
Yes.
And, I've been on Instagram and I've been watching reels and seeing people crying in the theater and seeing how Inside Out 2 has changed their lives, and, not just kids, but adults. And that truly is really amazing. It's really special for me to be part of that and to know that Inside Out 2 is changing lives.
And it's so crazy that, as soon as it gets available on streaming services and everything and available, to rent and to buy and everything, Kensington Tallman will forever be part of the Pixar marathons when people watch all the movies, right? It's crazy to think about.
Thank you.
It's so crazy. I'm so happy for you and everyone involved. Inside Out 2 in theaters now. They could check it out if they haven't already. I know some people that have gone to see it like twice already, which is crazy. Kensington, so great catching up. Thank you for so much coming back on the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun and I want to see you again. I want to do this again.
Absolutely, anytime. Instagram, your name is Kensington Tallman, right? On Instagram?
Yes. So my handle is at Hey Kensington, and then my name is Kensington Tallman, but I'm on all platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been Pop Turn. YouTube.com/Pop Turn for previous episode. Kensington Tallman voices Riley in Inside Out 2, which is now in theaters. Until next time, this is Kensington and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.